Well, thank you for coming in, viewers. Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Appreciate you taking the time to come in and listen to the latest teaching, psychology through theology. Proverbs 25:15. Through patience, a ruler can be persuaded, and a gentle tongue can break a bone. Through patience, a partner can be persuaded, and a gentle tongue can break a bone. In my last relationship, and this is sort of convicting me a little bit, there was tremendous patience shown towards my partner relative to a family issue that was going on by way of hostility towards myself. I decided that I'd try and ride this out and see if we could make sense of the nonsense. And we tried. We really did try. We tried to manage what we had in front of us. And I think to some degree the woman realised that I wasn't whatever the problem was with the family member. And I honestly believe that she was persuaded that this could probably work. And a gentle tongue can break a bone. Now, there was a lot of passivity towards this situation, and I can see how the gentleness of the situation from her part was trying to break the problem. But the problem wasn't necessarily something that she was going to be able to resolve, because it was a problem within a family member, and that is a problem that the family member has to deal with. And the primary solution to that problem was to get rid of me from my partner's life. Now, while I was being patient, there was also a matter of whether I was persuaded about if I wanted to be around these people or not. Because I'd come and I'd been genuine. I was there was some silly thing going on that I was never going to buy into. And I wasn't sure what was going on behind the scenes, but I know there would have been tremendous pressure on this lady to try and sort this problem out. And I could feel the relationship breaking. I could feel her breaking. Her loyalties were in conflict. I could feel myself breaking. My mental health wasn't going real good. Some family members were wondering what the big issue was and how it didn't seem to ring true, but we don't like to judge people. But what started to happen, instead of them having to be patient with me, I was starting to lose my patience with them. Because 50% of the relationship had been blindsided by the presence of this triangulation. It was just a major toxic triangulation, which is a major sign of narcissism. So I was trying to be as gentle as I could, just trying to be the man for this lady, get on with it, keep away from her family members to not cause any aggravation. I thought she was pretty honourable the way she kept turning up. She just kept turning up. but things were starting to break. You could tell. Unresolved was starting to break the bones of the relationship. And that's what unresolved does. There was no persuasion to what I could make of anything improving, even if we did get the initial signs of this sorted out. Even a gentle tongue. Because it wasn't about words or actions or anything like that. It was about energy. My energy was in conflict with theirs. My vibration in life was in conflict with theirs, and it was very difficult for these family members to handle. And that's understandable. It's understandable. So everyone was trying to be patient. Her just as much as me. Credit has to be given where it's due. Somehow or other she believed and I believed that we could make this relationship work. Somehow or other, I'm sure she was a very gentle woman in her own way. She was trying to break the bones of the problem. But by the time she came up with the solution, it was so contrary to anything I was ever going to agree with. I had a cortisol. My cortisol levels rose to such a height that on this particular day when it all came about, I had to go and lie down. And when I laid down, something just came to me and said, "You can't do this anymore. You have to let these people go, let it go." It's not healthy for her, you, or them, these family members. And I thought, well, whatever this voice is and whatever I'm sensing, I'm going to ring her up and tell her how I feel and see what happens. Well, I knew something wasn't right. There's something just was not right that I didn't know about. So I ring her up and just said, "Look, I'm not handling this real good." Right. She said, "Well, it's more or less your fault." And that was it. That was the end of it. I wasn't going to take the blame for something that really had nothing to do with me. The last time I saw this person, I was apparently a good guy. That was all. You can only be bullshitted to and accept it for so long. If a ruler's temper flares against you, do not abandon your post. Don't abandon what you know is right. Because if you stay calm, right, with what you know is right, then no matter what happens, no matter what the outcome is, everything will be laid to rest. The calmness lays great offences to rest. In other words, it's going to sort itself out. One way or another, it will sort itself out. If you just hold your ground and wait patiently, you're going to see what the problem is and why it is and what's happening with it. But you can't abandon your post. But you have to be careful that what you're standing up for is right. Otherwise you're being unfair and you're just lighting fires that don't need to be there. Okay, because when people are having narcissistic breakdowns, when tempers are flaring against you, people are having psychological breakdowns and stuff, you better know what the honest position for you to be in is. Otherwise you're being unfair to the partner and the family members. And as calm as I was and as prepared as I was to move on with it, by the time the solution or the arrangement which come about was going to take place, I was not going to put myself in that position. Not that I didn't want to resolve it, I just didn't feel that that was the right way to resolve it. And I've had a couple of different ways in which this has happened, but this one was pretty pretty surprising, but it revealed a lot of other things that were going on in the background, other negligences. So it wasn't like one bone was broken, it was like several bones were broken through a revelation that came out of the patients and persuasion of that patients that things just weren't really going to be able to work out. And as gentle as I could put it was, well, that's the monkeys off my back, and take your stuff and FO, which isn't very nice. But when you're at the point, when you're at the end, when you've really just feel like you're having a breakdown yourself, and you've just had enough of all the triangulation and stuff that's going on in the background, breaking everything to pieces in the spirit realm, the only solution that I could think of was to, unfortunately, have to get out. And, you know, that wasn't the purpose of where we were headed. We were getting closer, spending more time together. But triangulation and unresolved will cause things to break down. That's just what it does. So through patience, a partner can be persuaded, and a gentle tongue can break a bone. Unfortunately, in my instance, that didn't happen. The bones were broken, but they were the bones of the relationship, and the ashes were scattered over the ground. You have to deal with things with patience, but if you have to persuade somebody about something that's been proven over a duration of time, you can maintain a gentle tongue and you can break the bone, but it may not be the bones that you want to be broken. I'm Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, Theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.